Hey, quick question. What do these jobs have in common? Accountant, carpenter, beautician, electrician, photographer, graphic artist, interior designer, choreographer, writer, chef, seamstress. They all work in the Oklahoma film industry. And there's a place for you to join the action. Learn more about starting your film career in Oklahoma by visiting okfilmmusic.org/getting started.
Hello and welcome to deadCenter's 20th Annual Virtual Film Festival. We are so glad you have joined us today. Take a moment and share this amazing workshop that you are about to experience with all your Facebook friends. If you're on deadCenter or Oklahoma Film and Music Office's Facebook, thank you for doing that. I'm Tava Maloy Sofsky. I'm the director at the Oklahoma Film and Music Office, and we are such a proud sponsor on deadCenter's 20th Annual Film Festival. We have been longtime partners. I feel like family, not just with the deadCenter elite team, but just the film community and fans here in the state of Oklahoma. And we love all of our film fans and visitors. So thank you for joining us virtually this year. So our session today features producing films in Oklahoma. We have Bennett LeBarre with us here to my left. We are live at the incredible Tower Theater. And on the phone with us today, we have Wendi Foy Green. They are both Okies. We're all three Okies, so you are in for a treat. You're going to hear all about producing in Oklahoma. If you are tuning in with us on those awesome social media channels, please remember to pop your questions in the chat box, because at the very end, we'll save probably about 10 minutes and we will field your questions. So you can ask Wendi or Bennett.
It's okay.
Whatever you want.
I get it all the time.
All right. So, so stay tuned, and for those questions at the end, it's going to be fun. So we want this to be interactive, and for you to get to learn more from them directly. So thank you again. Just one note before we dive in and start our panel here today is that I just want to give everyone listening, whether you are in state or out of state or in another country, just want to give everyone an overview, because of the state of the Oklahoma film industry, because I think it's so important, the conversation that we get to have with you guys on like where you started, where you had to go to get training and learn the tricks and trades of producing. And now you've come home, and you guys both have incredibly unique stories, similar but a little different. And so I just think that is so relevant to where we are in Oklahoma today. So this is just a little plug on the Oklahoma Film and Music Office has been administering a rebate program for the state for many, many years. But in 2014, we were incredibly blessed. That program was renewed for 10 years. And then just last year in 2019, we were very fortunate, thanks to our incredible state legislators and government, to double.
And a lot of efforts by you guys. I know how hard you guys worked. I've had meetings with you. We had to rush out to go meet with them in the Capitol.
Yeah, it's just educating. And, and honestly, the film community, the film professionals, they're the ones, and the business owners, even restaurant owners and location owners were calling their legislators and getting appointments to go up and just tell them that, hey, they call it the movie business for a reason. And that's kind of one of our new taglines internally, as we are informing really the people of the state, and we want the world to know that the film industry, this is a real business. And so it has just been so fun to witness the growth. So just in 2019, we were able to double the annual cap of the program and then extend it out another 8 years. So all of that to say,
kudos to you. I know how hard you guys work on it. Kudos. My gosh, I've seen you do it.
Thank you, Bennett. That means a lot. And, we're all just working so hard. Big shout out to my team at the office, and just everyone who has worked so hard to get us to where we are today, between deadCenter and just everybody who loves Oklahoma film. It's been so fun. So just so everybody knows, during this COVID 14-week sort of closure around the world, Oklahoma, we were safer at home. We were all safer at home. We did have some filmmakers actually fly in from out of state, self-quarantine due to the state guidelines and restrictions on getting out. They did virtual casting, auditioning, virtual scouting, and just prepped, like teleworking from their hotels or their Airbnbs here in Oklahoma, so that when Governor Stitt lifted the ban on, just the safer at home, they went straight to work. So I know everybody has their own story on, when they're ready to work. We want everyone to feel safe and ready. But anyway, so there are 30 projects in our rebate queue right now. And those are just the ones that we're monitoring and utilizing the rebate. And then later down the road, we will be able to host Killers of the Flower Moon, so we'll have another one. But in the meantime, we are so excited that our crew and new spectators, whatever walk of life you are in, there's a place for you. So I want you guys to kind of speak to that. Yeah. We are building our workforce. We are diversifying our workforce. Even if you're an expat and you're listening, or if you could be a New Yorker and come to Oklahoma, we want you, right? So, in that regard, again, I'm so honored to be here with Bennett and Wendi on the phone. Wendi, where are you calling in from today?
So I am outside of Tulsa in Bixby right now.
Ooh.
Bixby. They have a great football program there.
Bixby's got a great school system. It's why we're here for our kids, and I'll talk about that later, moving here. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting today.
That's great. So we want to hear from both of you on how, Bennett, why don't we start with you? Yeah. So how did you get your start? Tell us actually, because I kind of ruined the surprise, that you're both Okies. We're all three Okies, and we're all Okie expats. Yeah. You're still living out of state.
Technically, my address is West Hollywood, but I haven't seen home in 11 months at this point.
So you're just going to move in. I mean, cost of living, come on.
I've literally, the amount of rent I've paid to not see that apartment in the middle of West Hollywood is kind of killing me. But
cost of living is like a tenth, right?
Yeah,
here in Oklahoma.
it's amazing. Here, and I bounce between here and Houston, so I've been doing a lot of in-between production. I'll go home to my house in Houston, where I was raised. It's my dad's house, but he's here most of the time now with my stepmom.
I just met him out in the hallway. Yeah. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's my biggest supporter. So it's I bounce back to Houston. When I'm done with the film, I'll stay here for a month, wrap stuff up, and then I'll kind of go back there and regroup, take my calls, emails from there, plan post and take meetings and stuff like that. But I haven't been home in 11 months, and I'm not regretting it. I to be honest, I haven't missed it a whole lot.
And I think this pandemic it has really empowered us to all. We can work or we can do our jobs anywhere from anywhere. So, but we would love to have you here. So tell us, so you told us a little bit where you're from, your background, but give us the launching story as to how you got interested in film.
Raised in Houston, and then born in Oklahoma City, moved to Houston when I was about 2, raised there. Houston's kind of home, and Oklahoma isn't so much second home as like 1.5. And then I've got my dad's side of the family all lives here, and I went to OU, University of Oklahoma, and I in college I was originally in theater. I did theater for a very long time, and that program I didn't really jive much with it at OU, and so I transferred into the journalism department, specifically because the editing department. The film and video production program at OU is wrapped up in the Gaylord journalism department. Mm-hmm. And so I transferred in, and I got my major. I ended up getting my major. My final 3 years, I was video production editing, film and video editing, and a Spanish minor. And so I really liked it. And I really liked it. I changed. People change. It's kind of a testament to that. My career, if you watch it, has been, originally I was an editor, and I loved that. And I loved sitting in a room for 16 hours and just editing something and not being bothered by anybody.
That
I'd sit in the dark.
Takes a gift to be in a room and just be just you and your computer.
Yeah, and it's nice. And these days I find it incredibly boring. And so I couldn't, at some point I realized.
Be out in the wide open plains.
Yeah, and I could probably still do it, and I do from time to time if someone needs some help. But I'd ended up graduating from there, and I had some good friends. I went to Performing Arts High School in Houston, and a decent amount of them are in LA now. And I had a friend who'd been there, went to UT, and went there straight after college. So he'd beat me out there by 4 years. I think I went out there in 2011, and he'd already been out there. And he said, if you come out, if you want to edit, I can get you work. He'd been working at WB and Paramount at that point. And I was like, you know what? got some money saved. I'm not the type to make rash decisions. I respect everybody who just goes out there with a suitcase and a dream, but I can't make that massive a decision just on a whim. For me, it has to make sense. But I mean, he's like, I'll find us a place. I guarantee you I can have you working in a month. And sure enough, and I get there and we start doing music videos, and another UT guy out there, ironically, my entire network is University of Texas guys. So it's me and 40, 50. I know, right? And my sister went there, so I don't mind them. But they've gotten me so many jobs. And we started on this one zombie film it's probably 7 years ago, called The Walking Deceased, for $150,000. And our good friend Tim said, we're going to San Antonio, my home. I have all these hookups. It's similar to what Oklahoma is for me here. He had a bunch of relationships with a bunch of people, his church groups, everybody. And so we went out there and shot a film, and I loved it. And I was originally going to be assistant editor and anything. On a $150,000 film, you're everything. To even claim one title is absurd, since you're a PA and a chauffeur
Robert
and
Rodriguez.
meals. Yeah, exactly. A jack of all trades. I think the best ones are, and have no egos, the best filmmakers are okay with doing anything.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If you get too attached to your title, I think it's a nail in the
helps,
coffin. You limit yourself so much.
And it helps if you want to direct or produce. It helps to know what all those positions do. So.
It'll come later. I think I was looking at some of this we'd prepared to talk about, and I'll talk about it later, but like, know everything. I know everything. And so I learned a decent amount, and I gradually, through doing it, I just kind of became a producer. I realized I'm handling going out, putting problems on the spot, and I really like that. I like dealing with 100 problems a day. It's stressful, but it's exciting. It's never boring. And editing held less interest for me, sitting there for like 16 hours. So I ended up cutting most of the rough scenes for our actual editor. I would piece it together for him, and then he'd tweak it. And after that was one of the last editing projects I did. I love producing, and I knew I had access to a network here in Oklahoma that I never wanted to tap until I had the right project.
So you had the training at the amazing University of Oklahoma, Boomer, but you really just stepped into the role you wanted to have.
And I think anybody else, if you're working on a film and you're open to opportunities, you can find the right thing. You swerve, like life comes at you fast. You know, one thing you like that day, you might not like tomorrow. Sure. So I loved editing. I loved it. And I did it for 4 or 5 years, and then I realized I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to sit there. I want to talk to people. I want to put out problems. I want to plan ahead. I like the quick thinking. So I enjoy that a lot more. And I just realized that I maybe had a really natural aptitude for talking to people and solving those problems and planning. So I loved it. And so
talker, and you just are so outgoing and kind of get along with people.
And I like that.
It makes a great producer. And I started as a production assistant. And
we've all done it.
I think that is, you were just talking about, like, where do you start getting started? I think I want to come back to that because I also want to hear from you and Wendi on to speak directly to the people that are just sitting there. Maybe they're, a hairstylist in a salon and they're going to work every day in the same place. And the incredible workshop that we got to hear from Tony and Alex earlier was, I want to step into that field. Like, it's so exciting, and every day is different on a film set. I love it. So I want to come back though to, like, you can be trained, skillfully trained, but it takes a certain kind of person. So we'll come back to this. I'm going to turn it to Wendi to hear her story and how she sort of, briefly where she came from and how she got interested in the film industry when she decided to produce. But I want you guys to speak to those people out there and tell them what you're looking for in a crew member. And so be thinking about that question coming up. All right, Wendi, over to you in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Thanks, Tava. Well, interesting. So we have a little bit in common there. Bennett. First of all, my daughter's name is Bennett, so that's amazing.
All right.
And then, secondly, my husband is a UT grad, film television grad from UT. I actually I graduated Baylor, radio, television, film from Baylor, and then both Brian and I, my husband and I, both went into music after graduating college, and so most of our livelihood, honestly, has been in the music entertainment side of things. And I traveled and sang in a group for 10 years. Probably my biggest claim to fame is that I have a song on a Miley Cyrus record that I wrote.
Whoa! Hashtag.
Yeah, wow. So, but to make the long story short of how I got into film, it's when I decided to come off the road from traveling, my kids were 4 and 6 years old, my 2 biological, and I now have 3 that we adopted from Ethiopia. But my 2 oldest, when they were 4 and 6 years old, started acting just through a random series of events. And so we were living in Nashville at the time, and I would fly them back and forth, Nashville, Los Angeles, Nashville, Los Angeles, Nashville, Los Angeles, and they would work, and they were consistently working all the time. And then pretty soon, I mean, this was going on for years and years, and we lived in Nashville for 20 years. And finally, I looked at my husband and I said, okay, we can live wherever we want, because we work from home. All of our stuff is pretty freelance, all that kind of thing. And I said, let's move to LA and actually give them a chance to do this thing, to be in front of these casting agents all the time, anytime, day in and day out. And so we picked up 5.5 years ago and took our family from Nashville, I guess it was 2014, to Los Angeles. And we loved it. I loved it. And it was an amazing experience. And we were there for 5 years, and our kids were working, and everything was great. And as I started really thinking about what I wanted for them, honestly, and the projects that I wanted them to be a part of. And so I had just started writing ideas down. I was like, look, why don't we put some things together ourselves? And we were getting a lot of things coming over, our emails from agents that honestly, they didn't want to be a part of. I didn't want them to be a part of. It just was stuff that I didn't like, And I thought, I'm going to do some things that I like, that I am excited for my family to see them in, and that kind of deal. We're proud of this. And so we wrote our first film. My son-in-law, Austin James, he and I wrote, and then he scripted our first film called Emerson Heights, and we shot that in and around Los Angeles, and then a little bit of it in New York. And then our second project, we just started coming up with an idea that we really liked about reconciliation, second chances, grace and love, all the things that we all need. And we started scripting or, writing a story, writing a storyboard. And then we passed that on to our screenwriter, Cameron Johan. And the three of us just scripted this thing, which is now called Birdie. And we just threw ourselves into it.
It's so good.
And Tava, it's so cool because as I was writing Birdie, I knew I would come to Oklahoma with it. And I didn't know about the rebate, to be quite honest, but I knew I was shooting this thing in Oklahoma because my family's in Oklahoma. So I was actually born and raised in Southern California in Orange County, and I lived there until I was almost 10. And then we moved to Coweta, Oklahoma, a little bit different. And I lived there until I graduated high school. And my family is still here. And so I just knew, look, if we come here, we're going to have resources here. We're going to have people who will help us. We're going to have locations. I can write these locations. I can base the story around locations and people that I know that we have access to. And so that's what we did. And then, lo and behold, as we put all this into play, we find out that Oklahoma has this amazing film commission with the most wonderful people there that actually want to give us back money for filming in Oklahoma. And all the angels were singing. And that's how we got into it. And so that's how we got here. And man, it was a great decision. Let me tell you.
I remember,
incredible.
Yeah, I remember when you and your team came up to our office and we met earlier last year, I guess it was, before when you guys had literally just moved here. I think you were still in boxes in Tulsa.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that. I think that is such a testament. Many of us, he'll be next, but we had to leave our home state, not by choice, but because there wasn't an industry maybe at that time. And then now, there is so much happening that we can just step into and be a part of that growth.
It was one of the reasons we moved. It was like, let's get here and let's get jump on this because everybody's coming. And this is let's be a part of this. And so we picked up, moved our families, and moved our production company here. And we're very excited and can't wait to film our next film. We've got the next one in the works and can't wait to shoot it here.
I'm excited. Tell everyone listening the name of your production company.
So Genius Entertainment, and it's spelled Jeenyus Entertainment, and it's geniusentertainment.com.
Okay, awesome.
And I formed that with my son-in-law, Austin James, and my son, Cooper Green, and the three of us own that company.
Okay, great. And as we were preparing for this panel today, I found a commonality between you and myself and Austin. He is from Ocala, Florida. Is that correct?
That's okay. I think that's where he was born, and his family lives there. His parents live there now. Yeah.
So, my husband is from there. He's also a filmmaker, and we lived there for 4 years and started our family. And then we thought we had to go to LA, so we did, but now we're here. So, kind of a cool.
Always a small world. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know he was from Ocala. That's great. So, gosh, we come from all around the country. So. I love that. And I just want to, before we kind of get into some questions, Yusuf is over here keeping time to make sure we're on track, letting us know how much time we've got. But before because I want to talk about the roles of producing, your experience in Oklahoma, and then I'd love to sort of end on some advice, and hopefully some people are asking questions. I mean, we kind of know probably what they're curious about, because this panel will be archived, so people will be listening to this forever. But I want to give y'all both and your entire cast and crew shout outs. So your films are incredible. I got to listen to the Q&As for both of them. You guys look like the Brady Bunch on that Zoom.
Right?
Looked like you had so much fun. Everybody was
what
like
a testament
busting.
that everybody showed up. I asked our director. He came and joined me in Houston for 3 days because that's where we did it from. We were based out of. And I said, "How many are going to show up?" And he goes, "Everybody. Single one will be there."
It looked like you guys were going to bust through the computer because there was so much love.
We had such a good time.
Yeah.
We actually told Lance, we said, because our lead Kellen was like, "Can we? Do you guys just want to do this off air, a private one?" And Lance basically said, "You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here." So we're like, "Yeah, let's all just hang up and let's redo this again privately." So it was good seeing him. Yeah, it was a fun Q&A. It turned out really well. I'm so loud. I forget how loud I am. I'm just shouting.
It was great. And Wendi, yours was incredible. Oh my gosh, too. Like,
it was so much fun.
Greg Allen Williams, he's awesome. What a great leader. And just how you and your company and the ensemble cast, I mean, on both of your films were incredible. So we won't dive into all of that but you have to, because you've already done it, so we don't want to repeat. Yep. But we want everybody listening to please find that panel. I don't know where it lives on one of the the media platforms out there.
On Eventive, I think both of ours are on Eventive. You get the film and the Q&As.
Right. And eventually maybe YouTube with deadCenter or our office for some of these. So anyway, that's great. So tell us, tell us about bringing the film to Oklahoma and exactly what each of your role. Bennett, we'll start with you. Okay. What kind of producer? There's like 20 different kinds of producers. So tell us your role and why you brought it here.
That's the question I always get to. What producer? Because everybody says producer, but nobody knows what it means outside of our business. And even in our business, like, well, are you just money guy? Are you executive? Are you associate? Are you producer? What is even the difference between them? That's it. You're just a friend of a friend. You just have money. I had access to a really good network here. That I used to work for an old company and a midstream company here. And so I had access to all these networks, these friends and family and coworkers and former bosses, and people have known me since birth from out here that all are extremely successful and root for me. But I wanted to come back and bring the right project. And I knew when I tapped in, that they'd ride with me. I just wanted to make sure I had the right thing. And I tried to bring a movie back here 2 years ago called American Monsters. I set up the LLC and everything. I was here. They weren't asking me to put up any money. They just wanted a man on the ground who knew Oklahoma, because I told them somebody should be shooting here. We need to be shooting here. I have a giant warehouse I live in. I have cars to drive. I have stuff storage. I have a giant gate to hide our trucks. I've got hotel hookups. And so we brought it. Didn't work out for one reason or another. And then this script came across my producing partner, my roommate, and the director, Scott. We've worked twice together. He did the zombie movie, the very first one. He found this script on a website. He loved it. He told the guy, circle back with me in a year if nobody picks it up. Nobody did. And so we went and met him. He said, well, the one thing is, I live in Houston. I said, well, perfect. We're both from Houston, so we'll meet with you. We meet him on Christmas, and I promise him, I said, we both love this film. If you just give us a year, because we had some stuff in the queue. We had a golf movie that we sold to Showtime that hadn't sold yet, that I was still trying to sell, and we had another one in production. So I was like, just if you're patient with me, we want to make this movie, and we can make it right. I swear to you, I'll blow your mind. And sure enough, a year later, and he was so good to it. It was originally set in New York City. And I said, to do this, you have to take out like the New York City subways. And obviously, I can't really. So he's like, done, easy. We'll just do Oklahoma City bus and things like that. So he was willing to rewrite it to make it work for this.
Awesome.
And my promise, I get you all the locations you could have imagined. Everything you want in New York, I will get you here. 32 locations for an outrageously modest budget. I mean, it would have cost me 500 times what I paid to get these in LA.
Good rates in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. And you're not ripping people off either. You're making it worth their while. It's not like we're not out to bend people over and give me free stuff. I mean, it's just, we'll work with you. What do you have? This is so fun. And so we brought it back, and I raised probably 90% of the money. And there were so many people supportive. I actually, for the first time ever, what a producer problem to have. I had to leave people out. It's like, I don't need it. On the next one, find me. And so I raised about 90% of the money. We came back. We based out of my warehouse, which is, near Chesapeake and Mid-First Bank headquarters. So it's central to everything. I can hop on any freeway. And I made sure, it was all these little things I'd never been able to do before, but I was in complete control, and I'd been planning this so meticulously for 2 years. I was like, I want to be 10 to 15 minutes from everything, which helps in the warehouse, and I want savings, which we had. And so I brought that back here, and I'm pretty much involved in everything. I think I locked down 29 of our locations, and raised most of the money. We crewed, and my director and I were the only ones here for a minute, and we crewed and casted almost the entire thing by ourselves from my warehouse, and interviewed people and met with them, and we shot all over July and August, and it was awesome. I mean, I've been in every part of the production. There are some that just come in and peek on set and want to shake hands, and there's some people bring some money in.
Were you the line producer or just the...
Kind of everything. It's just, there's so much blend. On that one, pretty much, there's a guy named Bernie Stern, and he was my producer partner. We shot 2 here last year, a summer and a winter, and it's just kind of a blend between line producer, executive producer, and
wearing many hats.
Yeah, and we did it together over June, July, and August, and it was amazing.
So in case somebody doesn't know, I mean, you've got the executive producer is typically, not always, typically the financier, the one that's raising the money.
Yeah, and it's usually an important credit for them. Like, I want my executive producer.
Right.
Most of us producer credit's really good. It translates in a lot of different industries. Like, just a producer credit works really well. Associate producer usually tends to be. You kind of do the bidding of the producer, wherever I need you to do. You got to be kind of willing to do, and you'll still get a good credit out of it. And it's a good upward mobility, stepping stone credit.
What about a line producer? Tell our listeners.
And line producer helps keep us on budget and puts out fires. Really,
Yes.
That's my big thing. Just puts out fires.
It's funny. We used to have a fire. And I'm not kidding. A fire extinguisher in our producer's trailer on The Mask of Zorro and many other films with my mentor, producer Doug Claiborne, who's an Okie as well, and it said Chief Claiborne, like with a little P-Touch label. It was in our trailer, because you're right. That is exactly what you're doing, putting them out before they happen.
Or when someone comes and asks for permits, somebody get Bernie. Where's our line producer? Who wants to act as line producer? We need to go handle this or get a complaint. We partner with the Boys and Girls Club, and it's just the line producer puts out fires.
You do so much. And I remember, like, on Money Train, Woody Harrelson, Doug Claiborne had to get on top of Woody Harrelson's cast trailer, and jump on it to get him to come out of his trailer because he was doing his yoga or whatever. And he wouldn't come out. So you have to do whatever.
You have to be the bad guy so many times. Sometimes you get to be the good guy. Rarely.
Right. That's great. So I think we've got about 10 more minutes before we turn it over to questions. So get your question in the chat box. Let's blow up the screens. All right. So Wendi, bring us home. Tell us your exact role as a producer, and anything else you want to contribute to what Bennett said.
Okay, well, I am kind of glad to hear Bennett say all that, because I thought, my gosh, have we just done this all wrong? Because we're learning, we're new. But now that I hear that he's also doing every single thing, then I go, okay. I think that's just the way that it is. So I was actually the executive producer, and I did provide the funding for the movie. And then Austin James was the producer. And then we did every single other thing also, but with also people, who actually had the title of the other things. You know what I mean? Like, just like Bennett said, you do everything. Austin and I were truly first to set and last to leave. We were working 18 hours, 20 hours. One day we worked 22 hours. It was exhausting and the most fun I've ever had. But so we just kind of did it all. And I think that's part of why it's so wonderful, part of why it's so hard, part of why it's so rewarding. Absolutely. When you just do it all. But I will say that after this, I need to sit down with Bennett and find out who those investors are that he had to say, don't need you, because we'll take them for our next one. Because what we want to do is get into the bigger and better, the bigger budgets, because, we were SAG ultra low on this. And again, coming out of our own production pocket, and so we want to get to the bigger budgets of things, the movies that we have. We have, a good 6 movies in the can ready to roll. But, personally, I don't want to be the only financier on the movies. I want it to be bigger than that. I want it to be better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we loved it, but we're growing. We are new. This is our second feature. We have a couple web series, couple things like that in the can, that are airing and all that. But this is our second feature. So we just learned so much and can't wait till the next one to do things, some things the same and some things different. But it's definitely a field where if you are not ready, willing, and able to do all the things necessary, it just probably isn't the thing for you.
Right.
Because it's a collaboration. It's a collaboration of work and sacrifice and serving and helping. And that's what makes the set so great.
And what a powerful position that you are both in, and all of really any professional cast or crew. The power of the position that we are all in as a film community to work together, to sweat together. You know, as you say, it is so hard, but so rewarding. And if that is your livelihood, it's not work. It's not hard work for you. And I think deadCenter Film Festival has, 20 years of pulling. And I love the story about how they started the festival. It was so that filmmakers didn't feel like they were all on their own islands, and so that they could encourage each other and empower each other. And even just in this panel, you guys have met, even though we're, an hour and a half from
saying
each
all the
other.
same things. We have the same experiences.
Exactly. It's so fun. And I can't wait to get to the next one.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to shoot it outside at 100 degrees again, but I cannot wait to get to the next one.
Well, write it and just keep it interiors, and or film on one of our film on one of our new sound stages coming to Oklahoma.
You know it.
So that's great, and you could tell if you listen to those Q&As that you guys presented through deadCenter Film. You can just feel the community and that collaboration. It's such a beautiful thing. We love film, and as Wendi, you were talking about, wearing a lot of hats. Our goal, I think, as a community, as an entire film industry, is to grow. But what does that mean? To me, it's like listening to you. You need more people. And as your budgets grow and your stories, you get more complex scripts or whatnot, you need more people. And we, the Oklahoma Film and Music Office, and so many of our incredible Studio Oklahoma partners, we want to raise up the next generation of film industry members. And so what, I think we're probably getting close to our Q&A, but I'll just kind of kick us off. What are you looking for? If somebody's sitting out there at home, hopefully they are, and they're saying, I want to be that one day. I want to be a producer. Like, where do they start? What advice would you give, and what kind of character are you looking for?
We've all stayed. I think I speak for a lot of people. This is based off LA. I don't really know if it's the same here, but I assume it is, since most people I know in Chicago and New York have the same experiences. A lot of us start as PAs, production assistants.
What's a production assistant?
Everybody wants them. You do everything. You have the longest job on set. Next to the producer, a good producer, you have the toughest job on set.
Without the title.
Without the title. It is the most grueling hours. But if you have, I look for people, long hours and a great attitude. That's it. Who is still fun 18 hours in? It's
complain.
miserable, and no one enjoys. I've shot a movie in the middle of July in Oklahoma, and I shot a movie in the middle of December in Oklahoma. And both, you take your pick. You want to freeze them or melt them. Everybody's unhappy. We're working the same hours. So I want someone with a great attitude who can work long hours, and we notice that stuff. From people at the top, there are 3 people now who I will never work without. My hair and my makeup people are set. She runs a studio in Tulsa, and he just gotten fired from some other project. But one of the people on there had hit me up and said, this guy's awesome. It was personal differences. He is so good.
What's his name?
Dalton Spence.
Okay.
And I love her so much. And Shanna Barnett is out of Tulsa, has her own salon. She runs.
I'm just so glad you didn't say the same people that I use, because I'm like, well, we're going to have to fight.
No.
You're going to arm wrestle.
Yeah. But
Elizabeth Bay, that makeup, that girl, ooh, she's good.
Yeah. I love my people, and I'm starting to find them, but they stick out. And that's why those people would be with me forever. They'll have a job on everything I do now, is because they can work incredible hours with me and have a great attitude. And I notice that, because if I will never ask anybody to do anything that I haven't already done, that I'm not currently doing, and that I don't plan to do in the future. So
what if they don't have experience?
And
what
that's
if they've
fine.
never been on a film set?
And the third part to that.
But that's how you get it.
That's it. I would say you can do it. And I have a long-standing policy: ask any question you want. Just don't ask it twice. That's when we have a problem. If you have to have it twice, then that's usually those are the people. When they're asking me the same question 3, 4, 5 times, then you're going to lose some stock. But you can ask any question in the world. I will ask every question under the sun, but I make sure I never ask it twice, because that's when people start to get irritated. But don't be afraid to ask questions. Great attitude, and expect the long hours. But a great attitude on long hours, and you'll be made here. You will build. It might be slow. It might take a year, 2, maybe even 3, but people recognize it, and it shows.
What do you want to add to that,
the
Wendi?
PA? Yeah, no, the PA position is definitely where you start if you don't have any experience on a film set. I mean, I brought my daughter on, and I said, walk around, shadow every position, and then you're going to be a PA. because you got to learn this and you need to go through, you need to do this the right way. But I want you to see the film set. I want you to experience the positions. I want you to see what everybody's doing. But then you got to start as a PA because that's how you watch. That's how you learn. That's how you serve. And that's such a huge part of the film set. It's like, how can I serve you? And how can I have a great attitude, even though it is 100 degrees, even though I've got to go get water for the 15th time today, even though, you know what I mean? It's like, because those are the people that are going to work every time, just like Bennett said, because we made our list. Like, I will work with this person every single time.
And then there's the people we won't work with.
And that is how, that's the we have that list too, of course.
So
and it makes all the difference in the world. Your attitude makes all the difference in the world.
So someone's job, role as a production assistant is more or less their interview to sort of moving on or moving into whatever department that they think they want to.
On my first film, I have a guy named Patrick Ball who's great. He was just recommended, and all I heard was hard worker, great attitude. Two of my favorite things. He started as a PA on my summer film. He was an accounting finance major, so now he can help me with the books too. He's helped me do accounting on the side. But this guy started as a PA. He has such a good attitude. He works the longest hours. He never complains. He was a key set PA on my last one, and on my next one, I might make him do key set PA one more time just to earn his stripes, but I'm going to make him an associate producer at some point, and then because he's earned it. He's put his sweat right next to mine.
So and
Tava, people should be looking for internships. If you can do an internship on a film set and be a PA as an intern and get college credit for it, that is an amazing opportunity. And with so many films being shot here, that's reality, that's available.
Right. And I'd love to speak a little bit into that. I'm not sure how much time we have left, but we're speaking into it. All right, we're just going here. So you wave at us. So yes, and I wanted to say, again, I just really enjoyed the Q&A with Wendi, well, both of you guys, but Greg Allen Williams spoke so highly of our Oklahoma crew, you guys.
Did he remember the Titans?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, what a lovely man. And he just went on, like I was in tears of joy because he just went on and on and on. So thank you, Oklahoma film professionals out there. You guys are making Oklahoma look so proud, and you're making this all happen and bringing these stories to the screens.
And let me tell you a quick little story about our score, or just our music for the film. So we had a song. It opens the scene, opens the entire movie, and we tried to get rights for it for 5 months, and it came down to 2 weeks before we needed to have this uploaded for deadCenter, and we could not get the rights. And so I skedaddled, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write it. I'll write it. And so I sat down and wrote the song, and then I looked on your website because I'm like, who are they promoting right now in Oklahoma as singers? And I found the girl. Her name is Ken Pomeroy. Exact voice that I wanted. Sent her a message. She ends up singing the song I wrote, opens the film, 16-year-old girl out of Oklahoma. And Tava, that's because you guys are there. You guys are there helping us, even when you don't know you're helping us. So she opens our film. It's pretty amazing.
16,
I have to say one more. I used y'all's app, your phone app,
that is an
to
awesome
cast
app.
to crew probably 50-60% of my positions.
Yeah.
I used that phone app. When in doubt, I couldn't find something, and I realized, oh my gosh,
easy,
I have the app. But you guys have made it so accessible, functionality.
Good.
I use that just to be like, God, I just need a list of makeup people right now. I'm in a panic, and boom, I call 8 people, and I have a short list of 2 an hour or 2 later.
Exactly.
And I don't think everybody knows that we have that app.
It's not, so
we
need to tell more people.
We never promote that, so we're
and it's
promoting
a good
our
app. There are some bootleg apps.
You're
that is
right.
a great
Thank you.
app.
I mean, I'll be on our website sometimes and just, probably just
I don't even go on there much. I use the app. I use the app 90% of the time.
Just grab your app,
Yeah. No,
well, we were blessed. We were very blessed with our cast and crew. I mean, finding LeBron, I called Rachel Camden, who's an Oklahoma City girl, who was off, working fresh off the boat in LA, who's moved back here to Oklahoma City now and doing great things. But I called her and she said, you got to have LeBron. And that's just how it went. We had, James White Cloud. We had, just Brett Bauer, just went on and on and on. Just great talent. But that crew, man, they were hard workers. Such good people.
Thank you. And so one more just stepping into, because I think I overlooked it a while ago, just about how someone can get involved, get started, an intern. And then I'm not sure how long we've got. Yeah, we're getting there, you guys. Thank you. This is so much fun. So hopefully you've seen either before or after one of our workshop panels here at deadCenter 2020, our commercial that is pushing people to the okfilmmusic.org deadcenter.org/getting started. That is a brand new page on our website. It looks beautiful. And just keep tuned into there because there's going to be an upcoming Oklahoma Film and TV Academy podcast series. It's Film 101. It's just like a little bit more diving deeper into what we're doing that the new Film Academy is putting together. So go there if you want to get started, if you just want to step in. And then deadCenter University has, I think, close to 50 students this year that they pulled together, and that is put on by MetroTech, also a sponsor of the festival. And so MetroTech, I know their team there, Harry Wollahan, works really hard to get his students on sets. OCCC, they help put interns on set, and they can get school credit, and so that's very important. So thanks to all of the schools, educational outlets here in Oklahoma and the Academy for just helping us raise up that next generation. And so before we sign off today, I want you guys to just give a plug, tell people where they can find your movie, either here at deadCenter or in the future. And just please recap, because I'm not sure if we've clearly given the titles of your movie. So we should have done that up front. Bennett, I'll start with
Mine
you.
is called Breaking Them Up. Okay. It's the easiest elevator pitch in the world. It's reverse Parent Trap. It's coming of age. It's two 15-year-old best friends, a guy and a girl. And the son's trying to break his parents up. They're all wrong for each other. Mom's a cigarette-smoking yogi. Dad's a failed musician who loves it. They find a drama teacher for the dad, and they put on a production of Guys and Gals because they can't afford Guys and Dolls. Sorry about that. It's my water bottle. The mom, they find a scuba instructor, and it's just this really charming, sweet, bittersweet coming-of-age story about divorce, and it's my favorite thing I've ever done. It's on the deadCenter. We're in 2 more festivals. We submitted to a few. We haven't normally done festivals, but we'll be in Newport Beach, which I'm really kind of excited for. I've never gotten to Newport, so we'll do Newport and Beverly Hills in beginning of August. Then we've had some offers, but I'm not looking to make a big decision until August. I want to take the summer.
Do you have a website or a social media page?
Haven't done one yet.
Okay.
I think we're putting it all together now. Again, we don't even get our finished film. We've had all these offers, but we won't even get our finished film back from our sound mixers until next week.
Yeah. And that's another part of producing that you can that you can learn later down the road. So breaking them up.
Breaking them up. Yeah.
All right.
Steven Schneider and Kellen Coleman are our 2
awesome.
mainly most.
We will be looking out for it. Wendi, close us
That's
out
awesome.
here.
Yeah, so our film is called Birdie. It is a family faith-based film about a guy who's just coming out of prison, and his only desire is to reconnect with his daughter. And his daughter is living with his, honestly, the dead girlfriend's parents, and it's just a real hard thing. You know, he's having to fight the town prejudice against him, having, committed manslaughter, and he's trying to reconcile with his child. And it's just a sweet, sweet story about love, forgiveness, reconciliation, redemption. It's good for the times that we're in.
Very relevant,
and it was it is. It's relevant, and we are only up on deadCenter. In fact, when we get done with this, we got to make a couple edits, and we've got a couple. We got to make a couple edits.
I feel you, Wendi. I feel you, Wendi.
That we missed in the credit.
Yep.
And we got to make and then we're looking for our distributor, but we're being looked at by a couple places. But just like you said, Bennett, we're going to wait just a minute and see what all the offers are. And then see what the good Lord brings us with this. So we're excited.
Yeah, congratulations to you both and your
Thank
entire
you.
cast and crew. Thanks to all the Oklahoma vendors and film industry crew and all the amazing talent that you guys both had. Yeah. We really enjoyed the films and wish you guys the best. And we look forward to you coming back. Bennett and Wendi, your next film. Can't wait. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see you
bye-bye.
back. We'll see you back at 3:30 for the Intro to Art Department with Sean Lynch. Over now.